He is an assistant professor at Kazimierz Wielki University. He holds a PhD in linguistics, is a member of the International Council of Onomastic Studies and the Polish Onomastic Society. And he's mostly interested in anthroponymics and toponomastics.
Hello, my name is Henryk Duszyński-Karabasz. I represent the Kazimierz Wielki University in Bydgoszcz, Poland. My topic is the given names of the faithful of the Orthodox parishes in East Kuyavia and Dobrzyń Land in the second half of the 19th and in the early 20th century. My presentation will focus on the given names of the faithful of 4 Orthodox parishes. The purpose of my study is to conduct a comparative analysis of the given names accepted from the records of the Orthodox parishes in Aleksandrów Kujawski, Włocławek, Lipno, and Rybnik. Here are some examples of these records of the Orthodox parishes. Yes, in the second half of the 19th century and at the beginning of the 20th century, East Kuyavia and Dobrzyń Land was a place of coexistence and the influence of several cultures, religions, and also languages. Here we can see the map, and here there is a map of this territory. East Kuyavia and Dobrzyń Land was a specific borderland existing only at a specific time, created as a result of changes in the administrative affiliation of these territories, because in the second half of the 19th century and in the beginning of the 20th century, these lands constituted a border area of 2 partitions of Poland, Prussian and Russian. It existed only at this time, and the bearers of East Slavic given names and surnames inhabiting Eastern Kuyavia and Dobrzyń Land are mainly brought to this territory after the Russian after the partitions of Poland from Russia, in order to take up administrative posts, and there were soldiers, militaries also, and their spouses, their families. So the main feature of the anthroponymic system of this territory, as I said, is the border character. And 134 names of children and 452 names of adults have been analyzed with special focus on the etymology, frequency, and polyonymy. And we start with the anthroponymy of the Orthodox parish in Włocławek. We can start with the names of children, 36 male and 30 female given names were used to nominate 143 children. These are names of saints of the Orthodox Church, but there is also exceptions. For example, the names Inna and Rima, and for example, 2 male first names appear in the variants in another spelling forms. The most frequently male names were Alexander, 16 uses, Vladimir also 16, and Nikolai 17 uses. Among female names there were Olga, Anna, Vera, and Maria. Male names are of Greek origin, as for example the names Alexei, Alexander, Andrei, Georgi, Panteleimon of Latin, Valentin, Victor, Vitali, or also of Hebrew origin or Aramaic origin, but we have here also the Slavic name Vladimir, the old Scandinavian name Gleb, and the name the Slavic name Boris. Female names are also of Greek origin. Yeah, we can see examples: Alexandra, Valentina, Daria, Evgenia, Hebrew, Elisaveta, Maria, Latin origin, Natalia, or Scandinavian, Olga. The Slavic cults from Greek are Vera, Lubov, and Nadezhda. The name Inna may be a form of such names as Regina, Carolina, or Agrippina. The names of converts, 5 people converted from Roman Catholicism, 2 women converted from Judaism, and 1 person from Evangelicalism. The change of religion in 6 cases involved the adoption of a new name. So they choose a new name. As you can see, if an existing name had an Orthodox equivalent, it was retained, adapting only its form to that used in the Orthodox Church. For example, Stefania, Stefanida, Marianna, Mariamna, or no change was made. For example, Ignacy. In one case, a name beginning in the same way as the previous one, for example, with a cluster ST, was given Stanislava Stefanida, and in some cases, a complete change of name was made. Here we have the names of parents, nuptials, godparents, 70 forms of male and 65 forms of female names were extracted, and the most frequent female names were Maria and Olga, while male, Alexander, Ivan, Ioan, Nikolai, and Piotr. The male given name Ivan is an adapted East Slavic variant of the Orthodox Church name Ioan. There are only 2 double names in the material from this parish: the Lutheran female's name Ioanna Agnieszka and the Catholic female's name Katarzyna Kazimierz. Other names of evangelical or Catholic women are Branislava, Wanda, Vladislava, Rosalia. Very rare female names were Agrafena, Nonna, Sinklitikia, Fausta, and rare male names were Zosima, Xenophont, or Faust. Now let's talk about the anthroponymy of the Orthodox parish in Alexandrov Kuyavsky. We have here 544 people, children. They were Baptist, and they were given 46 male names, with several appearing variants, Orthodox and East Slavic variants. For example, Alexei and Alexei, Yakov, Yakov, Ioan, Ivan, Stepan, Stefan, and 14 female names, including 1 in 2 variants, Tatiana and Tatiana. The most frequently male names were Nikolai, 37 uses, Alexander, Ivan, and Vladimir, followed by Vasily, Mikhail, Sergei, Alexei. Among female names, the most frequently noted forms were Maria, Anna, Olga, followed by Alexandra, Vera, Elena, Evgenia, Nadezhda, Sofia, and Natalia. Main names are mainly of Greek origin. Yes, for example, Alexei, Alexander, Georgi, but also Latin or Hebrew origin. And there are also here in this group names that appear in the previous parishes. For example, the two-part Slavic name Vladimir, or also Boris, which is a shortened form of the name Borislav. Female names are also mainly of Greek origin, Latin, or Hebrew. But we can see here also the Slavic name Ludmila, and this name is a Slavic calque from Greek, or the Scandinavian name Olga. Names of converts. Certain irregularities in the naming of converts can be noted. Names were retained if they were identical to those appearing in Orthodox calendars. But on the other hand, names were changed when they were typical for the Catholic faith. In such cases, a new name was adopted by choosing it from a list of names of Orthodox saints. For example, Josefa and the new name Natalia. And the names of parents, nuptials, and godparents. The most the names in this group are characterized by a large variety of forms. 159 masculine and 123 feminine forms, but many of them appear only 1 to 5 times. Among the most frequently names, there are Ivan and Maria, followed by the male names Nikolai, Alexander, Pyotr, Vasily, Mikhail, Fyodor, Alexei, Andrei, Pavel, Yakov, and the female names Anna, Alexandra, including also double and triple names. Here we can name also the first name of persons of other denominations. For example, the Lutheran denomination. Augusta, Albina, Amalia, Berta, Wilhelmina, Carolina, Matilda, Michalina, Regina, Ulda, Friderika. Also double and triple names such as Anna, Tilia, Germina, Matilda, Emma, Eleonora, Marfa. And Catholic names, Agnieszka, Anelia, Antonina, Balbina, Valeria, Vladislava. Also double and triple names, Anna Sofia, Ili, Josefa, Jadwiga. Now let's talk about the anthroponymy of the Orthodox parish in Lipno. We begin with the names of children. There are 49 names that were used for the nomination of children. And including also 2 in different graphic variants of this writing with spelling, Vladimir and Vladimir Grigori, and 24 female names, including also form in 2 variants. The most frequently male names are Alexander, Nikolai, and Vladimir. And among female names, Maria and Olga were very popular. Also Vera. And for example, the names Alexandra, Ksenia, Nina were given 4 times, each name 4 times. Other forms appear less frequently. And 10 names appear singly. Male names are mainly of Greek origin, but also of Latin or Hebrew origin. Here you can see the examples. For example, the Greek names Yevgraf, Yefimi, Yermagian, or the Hebrew names Simeon, Mikhail. The female names are also mainly of Greek origin. For example, Pelageia, Ksenia, but also Hebrew, Tamara, Latin origin, or Slavic. Also Slavic calques from Greek. And the names of converts, only 2 names of female converts from Catholicism were recorded in, written in were written in, we can also were accepted, yes, from their records, Antonina and Stefanida, and they retained their names from before the change of religion. The system of female names is very interesting. It is dominated by the form Maria, with 54 uses in the Lipno parish. And also among girls' names, the form Maria appears most often. And the second most frequent first names are Anna and Elena, 14 uses each. Metric records show the typical names for Roman Catholic Christians were Juliana, Fiafila, Jadwiga, and for evangelicals, for example, Augusta, Elena, Amalia, Carolina, Friderico also. Sometimes, based on the spelling of the name, we can deduce the nationality of its bearer. For example, if the form Katarzyna, we can say that is a Polish woman. And yes, here in these groups of Catholic and evangelical first names, we can see double and triple names because in the Orthodox Church, double or triple names were not used. And now the anthroponymy of the Orthodox parish in Rybin. We start with the names of children. In the naming of children in the Rybin parish, 35 male and 25 female names were used, and the most frequently forms were names, were Nikolai, Vladimir, Alexander, Ioan, and the female names Maria and Olga. 19, for example, 19 of the male names appeared only once. And yes, the male names given to children in Rybin are also of Greek origin. For example, Safroni, Timofey, Feodosy, Latin origin, Hebrew origin, for example, the name Seraphim. But there are also other names in this group that have been included in the Orthodox Church name calendar. For example, the Slavic 2-part name Vladimir, Vsevolod, Rostislav, and also the Old Russian origin of the name Vadim. The female names are also many of Greek origin. For example, Galia, Evdokia, Ekaterina, Zoya, Larissa. Hebrew origin and also Latin. We can see here also the Slavic calques from Greek. For example, the names Vera, Nadezhda, Lyubov. Names of converts, almost half of the conversions did not involve a change of name. 7 people have here a new first name taken from the Orthodox calendar. The names not adopted in Russian anthroponymy were converted. Yes, for example, the 3 name information characteristic for German anthroponymic system, Bruno, German, Wilhelm, or the Polish names Isidor, Michalina, Henryk. The names of saints of the Catholic Church, Stanislav, Apollonia, were changed to Vladimir and Pelagia. And the names of parents, nuptials, godparents in this parish, in the parish of Rybin, 97 male and 79 female names were collected. And the most frequently used forms are the Hebrew name Ioan and the Greek name Nikolai. Also names of Greek or Hebrew origin: Mikhail, Vasily, Piotr, Grigori. Many names have one-time uses, but the forms of Greek origin predominate among them. Among female names, the most popular are Maria and Anna. But several times, the names Alexandra, Elena, Olga, Sofia are mentioned several times. Many names, many other forms appear less frequently, and then many forms of names are here appear only once. So the European parish registers also contain names of non-Orthodox denominations. Yes, here we can see the Catholic names. For example, Leocadia, Marianna, Michalina, and evangelicals, Adelaida, Julia, Berta. And here we have conclusions. So 134 children names and 452 adult names were extracted from the records of the 4 parishes. Children were given the so-called calendar forms, those that appear in list of names of Orthodox saints, and the particular popularity of some forms, Anna, Nikolai, Alexander, and others, was influenced by linguistic fashion. Some names were given in honor of specific saints, another in honor of Tsars of Russia. The parents' names are more diverse than the children names. Yes, because there are also forms of Polish, German origin among them. First names characteristic for the Polish or German language area, although written in a Russified form, testify to the cultural diversity of the names of the Orthodox parishes of the East Kuyavia and Dobrzyń Land. And in conclusion, we can say that the anthroponymy of this territory is a valuable source for comparative research into the naming of Catholic and evangelical parishes. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. That was fantastic. Are there any questions from the floor or general comments? You know, round of applause there from the American Name Society. I thought there was some really interesting things there, like the spelling of the name, and you can deduce the nationality. There's a lot of very playful things like that going on with Welsh names these days. My parents' generation, they tended to drop the Welsh names and have like very English spelt English names. But now you have people taking English names and Welshifying them by changing the spelling, and sort of really sort of cheeky kind of things going on where the names almost make you laugh to read them. Some of them are old Welsh names like Tom and things, but other names where people have clearly taken a new fashionable English name and changed them. So that's been really very interesting. I was interested in where it said that there's some of the names are only appearing once. Do you know, is there any, is that to do with like just current trends and sort of, I don't know, television or anything like that, or is there any theories around that?
Yes, there were many forms that appeared only once, and this the cause is, I think, these names were the names of the Lutheran or evangelical or also Catholic people, and they appeared very rarely in these sources, in these materials, in these sources from the Orthodox Church. There's and also the triple or the double yes, names were very rarely here. I think the best what I think I should now compare these records, these sources, with the records and with the name anthroponymic system from the evangelical parishes or also Catholic parishes to compare the names.
Yeah. So was there any particular thing, because I'm from the borderlands of Northeast Wales, and it has a very particular character to it, like you were saying about that your borderland area, and like Gloria Analduza says about the borderlands in her work, that it's almost like where the sort of languages and cultures kind of mesh together and kind of fight each other and create something new. So I guess I was wondering if that was something to do with it, whether like the borderland area had facilitated this whole sort of, it's almost a new culture in itself. So someone in Welsh, Myrddin ap Dafydd, called the borderlands of Wales the country between countries, because of that, like the culture has become so very different along that borderland. So I was wondering if the borderland character had impacted maybe on the naming strategies or anything like that, or.
Yes, this territory, this area was a specific borderland that existed for a short time, and now there is these names. The Russian people exist there not. It does not exist there, and also the German people also. So now in this area live the Polish people, and the influence of the German language we can see in the surnames of this territory.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, fascinating stuff. So if there's no other questions or anything like that, I guess we will be drawing this session to a close. Look at that, bang on 3 o'clock. So we'll conclude the session. Thank you very much, everybody, for attending, and thank you to our presenters. Thank you very much.